Page 50, Player's Choice. Going to learn some things about blues notes here at the top of the page. What they've done is they've taken a 5-finger position based on C. C in the 5-finger, regular 5-finger position. You do this in both hands too. And the blues notes on this position, using these notes, are the 3rd note, which is the middle note, and the 5th note, which is the top note. And they simply lower those 2 notes a half a step. So blues note, you'd be here, and here you'd be here. Those are the blues notes, those 2 notes. I don't know if you're understanding this or not. This is the regular position. Using these notes with the middle note, that's the regular note. The blues note would be a half step lower. And the same thing with the 5th. The blues note is simply a half step lower. Not the other notes. These notes are fine. Leave them alone. They're doing good. We only need the middle and the top notes. We're just going to lower those. That's it. Those are the blues notes in this position. I mean, it's close to the blues scale. We have a D where normally that's not in the scale. It's here. That's the scale. But we're talking 5-finger position here. And we use the blues notes as 3 and 5 are down. Clear as mud? Well, hang on to your socks. Now, look at the first example on page 50. I'm talking right hand. We have a melody here that just uses this position, but it just uses the standard notes. There's no blues notes in here. I'll play this for you gently, very gently. Repeating it because I just want to demonstrate it for you. It's just a regular 5-finger position. Now the second example now adds blues notes to this. That is the 3rd and the 5th. We're just using the lower. And the trick here is that the blues note, the lower note, has to be followed by the regular note. So if I play an E flat, I gotta have an E natural right after. We say it resolves to. It's followed by, it goes into, resolves to. Fancy, huh? Oh, okay. So the second one, you see it starts out with an E flat. That's a blues note. But it's followed by an E natural. And then another flat. And then another natural. And then a G flat. That's the 5th one, lowered. But it's followed by the natural. It resolves to the natural. And you'll look at each of these in the blues notes. They even put a little asterisk under them. And the next note after it is the regular note, the natural note. So the second example is that. Now, you don't have to, I mean, look at the first measure. You have this. You can have more than one blues note in a row, but finally when you're done with it, you follow it. So I could have had 3 blues notes in a row there, and then the E natural. That's okay. I resolved it. So it's not like a single note has to resolve every time, but when you're done with that key, with that pitch, resolve it up a half a step. All of that is leading into this player's choice. Normally we're in this position. You'd see a 5-finger position, but you'll see there's a C on the second measure. It's here. Well, that tends to put it into an extended position. If you look at the fingering, that seems to work. And when you play it as it's written, that works fine. Except maybe the last measure you can, if you want, come on down to a 5-finger position, or you can stay there. If you're going to repeat, stay there. If it's the end of it, you could come down if you want and just use a 5-finger position for the last measure. But when you do the blues notes thing, you can't do that. It's not this position. Because we're adding a lower note in here. So here at the beginning, this first note would be an E flat, an E natural. So you're in a 5-finger position again here. and then you have a quarter rest where you have to come up, move the hand up here, and then reach down to get the G flat in the second measure, because it's a blues note. So your hand's moving around a little bit. You have to work that out. Try and get to the point, if you can, where you can do this without looking at the keyboard eventually. The left hand is going to move around a little bit because you're starting down here on this C. And watch the fingering. Then reach out to. We had a blues note there, and we resolved it. And then you end on the. You can end on second finger for the last note or thumb, either one. I tend to put the second finger because I was up here and I'm in this position. It's just a habit of mine, so I would end on second finger for the last note in the left hand. The notes with the asterisk under them, they want you to change that note to a blues note, meaning they want you to just lower it a half a step. So at the beginning when you're here, change it to here. So the first note is an E flat, then an E natural, and then a G. Now they want a G flat. See the asterisk under it? So it's a G flat here, then a rest. Then you got to come up here and then reach down. They say third finger. Doesn't have to be. You could, but that's all right. We'll do third finger on, and they want you to lower that G because it's got an asterisk under it. So lower the G. Here, fourth finger, and then the first E has an asterisk under it, so we're going to lower that. Third finger here. So follow the rest of those with the asterisk under it, just lower it a half a step. So what I want to do is play this twice, and we'll play it first just like it's written, and we are going to repeat it, and then we're going to play it again with the blues notes added in. Now, there's electronic jamming at the bottom again if you use an electronic keyboard or you have a drum set or a drum machine or something. Set your rhythm to rock or jazz. Now, if you set it, I recommend jazz because this is a blues thing and what we really want to do is swing the eighth notes. So it would be on the player's choice. It would be. So I would recommend if you're going to use the blues notes, use the jazz rhythm. If you're going to use the regular notes, use the rock rhythm and you can play them evenly. So I'll give us 4 counts. So we're going to play this regular, straight through. You can use a rock rhythm if you want, just straight through. 1, 2, and ready and go, and rest. Repeat. Rest. Rest. Rest off. Now let's do it with the blues notes added in, and if you want to do it with drums or something, you set them on jazz style rhythm because I'm going to swing the eighth notes, long, short, long, short. I'll give us 4 counts and let's try this out. And we are going to repeat it. 1, 2, and ready and go, and rest. Repeat. Rest. Rest. Now what I'd like to do is play the acoustic jamming at the bottom. I'll play that and you do the player's choice thing with the blues notes and with the uneven rhythm, the swing and the eighth notes, do all that too. And we are going to repeat it, but I'm going to speed it up a little bit, so a little closer to a performance type thing. So be sure that you can play this before you try this acoustic jamming or we'll really be lost. My rhythm is different than yours, so you got to listen to me to stay with me, but you got to pay attention to what you're doing. 4 counts. Here we go. Put your hands where they go. Remember, you're starting on an E flat. It's a blues note. 1, 2, and ready, and go. And 1 and 2. 2 and 3 and 4 and repeat. 2 and 3 and 4 and